Now to tonight's special report. And exploring the Northern Territory's Kakadu National Park has traditionally been a bucket list adventure for many tourists. But after years of neglect, tourism numbers have fallen sharply. In its heyday of the late 80s, Kakadu attracted around 250,000 tourists each year. That's now declined to around 185,000. Earlier this year, the Prime Minister and opposition leader each committed $200 million in funds to secure the park's future. But without a single extra dollar released yet, locals are hoping the promises are about more than politics. Stephanie Zillman travelled to Kakadu and the nearby township of Jabiru for tonight's special report.
This is Kakadu, a land that's been occupied for at least 65,000 years and the jewel in the territory's crown. Or at least it was. It was Mick Dundee who put Kakadu on the world map and invited a generation of visitors. The Hollywood blockbuster showcased the best of the national park. In the 1980s, this place was the gold standard in environmental land management and was the only park in the world to have a joint management arrangement between the government and traditional owners. Over the years, feral animals got out of control, noxious weeds grew, and there were devastating lapses in fire management. The pathways and buildings that were meant to welcome visitors fell into disrepair, and visitors they were meant to welcome started to disappear. It's been more than a decade since any new visitor locations opened in Kakadu, and in many cases the infrastructure just isn't what's expected of modern tourist destinations.
Some darters just out there nesting.
I've come to meet Russell Gio. He's the new general manager of Kakadu, tasked with turning this place around.
The environmental values of this park and how we actually, maintain that is always going to be a challenge.
Those challenges have led to an extraordinary collapse in Kakadu's native animal numbers. Some small mammals, like the native rat, have lost 75% of their population. But with unprecedented federal money on the way, a plan can now be put in place to change all that.
It's important that we plan and we make sure we use the resources that we get in the best way. But that can also enable us to engage more greatly with traditional owners so they can get back out on country and help with the process of managing the park.
On the Mamukala wetlands in Kakadu's South Alligator region, rangers are working hard towards that goal.
Always wanted to be a ranger ever since I was a kid. Grew up my whole life in Kakadu National Park.
Are you looking forward to dry season and getting everything ready for the visitors?
Definitely, yeah. It's going to be a big, tough one, but we'll eventually get there and open the places up.
Part of their work is to make sites safe for visitors and ensure they're actually open for as long as possible. Last year, for reasons including the risk of crocodiles, meant iconic Kakadu waterfalls, Jim Jim Falls and Twin Falls, were open for a total of just 8 weeks. It's a sore point for some of the tourist site operators, who say infrastructure like unsealed and low-lying roads are also stopping them from getting visitors to the major attractions.
The vehicles, we need to keep up to a standard as well for safety, and the condition of the road was slowing our vehicles down a lot.
And there's concern Parks Australia simply isn't getting the message out to potential visitors.
We need to tell people that Kakadu is open, because at the moment it feels that the general feel is Kakadu is not open.
In the middle of Kakadu is this place. Jabiru was founded as a mining town for the Ranger uranium mine, but it's also the gateway to the park. This is the town centre of Jabiru, and under the original contract, the mining company who set it up were meant to pack it all down when the mine closed, effectively erasing it from history. But for the people that live here, this is home. And the Gunjakmi Aboriginal Corporation, who represents some of the region's Aboriginal groups, presented a business case to put this town at the centre of Kakadu's tourism revival.
they think, yeah, this is a great opportunity. It will better change our outstation and, you know, our lifestyle. Everything will be changed. And yes, you know, they do feel hopeful. I feel hopeful.
It was their lobbying that was instrumental in securing the $200 million in funding promises from both political parties in February.
It's definitely once in a lifetime opportunity because, you know, this kind of money would definitely, you know, help us in the future now.
Yeah, we work together so hard. We always stick together to come every meeting and we talk about everything.
Traditional owners say they want living conditions of Indigenous people in Kakadu to be improved and that the spoils of tourism will this time be shared equally.
Most businesses out here would like to see a set date for when the funds will be released. We'd also like to see a lot more consultation with the local traditional owners.
At the Crocodile Hotel, an icon of 1980s Kakadu, its modern facelift is bringing locals, offering a gallery space for artists and employment and training.
With some of the local artists, when they come to work and timesheets, and you know they're part of our team, and this is the most important thing, is just inclusion and making sure that we do employment properly.
To realise the dream of reviving Kakadu, there's a lot that needs to change. And some of the tasks ahead will take decades of commitment. At least for now, there's enough goodwill to try. Stephanie Zillman, ABC News, Kakadu.